Okay, today we're going to do Chapter 10, Section 2. These are the notes over about political parties. So I need to get these notes out. We're going to go through them together. So if you open your Civics books to page 255, it'll say Section 2, Political Party Organization. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of reading and we're going to do a little bit of writing. So I want you to look at page 255. It says, political parties exist for one reason: to nominate and elect candidates to office. An effective party must be well organized. It must have leaders, committees, and workers able to carry out the party's program.
So you want us to write that?
The party must also be organized at the local, state, and national levels. It must be able to raise money to pay its expenses, and the party must nominate its candidates for office and plan its campaign strategies to get those candidates elected. So the main reason, the one reason that political parties exist is for what? To nominate and elect candidates. Okay? So political parties exist for one reason: to nominate and elect candidates. So, when President Trump was running for the presidency, he had the Republican Party, and there were people that helped nominate him, get him nominated for president, and elected president. Okay? Anybody who runs for any office will have some people that will help nominate them and elect them. Political parties need certain things. Okay, what do political parties need? There's going to be a big list. They need to be organized. That's going to be the big thing. They need to be organized. They need to have their stance on different facts straight. They need to have people in different roles. They need to be able to keep track of events, things like speaking engagements, meetings, things like that. They have to be very organized. Okay? Yep, he won't be on it. Okay, so political parties need to be organized. You got to keep track of speaking engagements and things like that. Okay? So the next thing they need leaders. They need people in charge, okay? They also need committees. I need to change my settings. Okay, they need committees. They also need workers. Okay, and then there's also going to be all of these things at the national, state, and local level. Okay? National level would be like president. State level would be like your governor. And your local level would be like your mayor. Okay? So, speaking federal government, so that'd be the national level. There are different committees that help President Trump get nominated and elected. He's going to have somebody who's really good with, a group of people good with education, a group of people good with the military, a group of people good with finance. Okay? So he'll have different committees. He'll have different people leading those committees. And those usually continue on into his presidency. Okay? He's got to have people help. You need just workers. Okay? So like come election time, you might go home and you might see a flyer hanging on your front door, or you might receive something in the mail. Okay? Any of those kinds of things, they have to have workers to help do those things. When we watched that President Obama documentary, and he had all those people calling, hey, remember to get out and vote. Oh, do you need a ride to go vote? We'll have somebody come pick you up. Like those kinds of things. Workers do those kinds of jobs. Okay? And then they have those things at the national, state, and local level. Okay? Go ahead and turn to page 256. Party committees. Over the years, party members have established procedures for carrying out all of their activities. Today, both major parties and many smaller parties are organized in much the same way. Planning for each political party is done through a series of committees. Each political party has a national committee and a state central committee in each state. Each party also has local committees at the county, city, and sometimes township level. A chairperson heads each committee, and party supporters usually elect the committee members at election time. Sometimes the members are chosen at special meetings of party leaders called caucuses. Okay, so we have two main political parties in our country, Republicans and Democrats. Okay, so if we were just looking at the Republican Party, there is a national committee for the Republican Party. There is an Illinois level for the Republican Party. Okay, Macon County has a Republican Party group, and then you probably will find even like a Decatur group for Republicans. Okay, Chicago probably has their own, even though they're a part of Cook County's group. Okay, so bigger cities will have their own committees as well, and they just help spread the word for their political views. Okay, party planning for each party is done through what? Committees. So, does everybody have that? Can I scroll up? I don't want to crawl on the floor. Okay, so planning for each party is done through committees. Okay? And each committee has a national, a state, a county, and sometimes city level. Okay? Now, smaller cities are not going to have their own group. They'll be grouped in with the county. Okay, so like Mount Zion. Mount Zion only has 5,700 people total. Okay, so there's not like a Democratic committee for Mount Zion, Illinois. They're a part of the Macon County one. Whereas Decatur has 70,000 people. They might have their own subcommittee. Okay, make sure you're paying attention back there. Okay, national and state committees, we've kind of talked about those already. Let's take a look at the local organization. Perhaps the most important political party committees are those at the local level. These committees are responsible for conducting all local campaigns. They raise money for the party and party candidates. Party members elect local committee members. Committee members elect chairpersons and serve as local party leaders. For elections, all counties, cities, and wards are divided into voting districts called precincts. In each precinct, voters all vote at the same polling place. A polling place is where voting takes place. A rural precinct may cover large areas of a countryside. A precinct in a city may cover just a few blocks. The precinct chair or captain is the party leader of the precinct. The precinct leaders are busy at election time. For example, they organize volunteers to distribute campaign literature, arrange to have voters with disabilities driven to the polling place, and have party workers telephone voters and urge them to vote for their party candidates. Okay, so when it comes time to vote, and you have registered to vote with the county, they base where you vote off of where you live. Okay, so I live in Mount Zion. My voting place just got changed this past election, so I go to the Mount Zion Convention Center to vote. Okay, my parents live in South Shores, and they go to the Elwyn Town Hall to vote because they're on the very, very edge of Decatur. Okay, that's just where it's close for them, and that's where their neighborhood goes to vote. Okay, my aunt and uncle live in South Shores, but they go to South Shores School to vote. Some people may not live that far, and they go to Maranatha Church to vote. South Shores is a densely populated area, so those people might go different places, even if they're just a couple streets apart. Okay? So, I lost my place. Oh, for elections. All counties, cities, and wards are divided into voting districts called precincts. Okay, precincts. Oop, CTs. And the precinct is where you go vote. Okay. Precinct is the group of people that go vote in one area. In each precinct, voters all vote at the same polling place. Okay, they all go vote at the same polling place. Polling place is where voting takes place. Now, over each polling place, there's like a boss, a person in charge, okay? And their job is to, over the precinct chair or captain, they're the leader, their job is to organize volunteers and distribute campaign literature. Okay, so when I went to vote for the last presidential election, I walked into the Mount Zion Convention Center and I told them my name and I signed my form that said I am Melissa Staples and I am here to vote. Okay, and then I went to the next table and they just kind of verified my information, and the people who are working there are all volunteers. Okay, now The volunteers that I went to them because I recognized them, and they were Eisenhower students. Mr. Mills's class they all volunteered to work at the polling places. Okay, so it's kind of cool to do that. All right, let's pause here. We'll go to lunch, and when we come back, we'll do the second half of the notes.
Well,